Hi everyone.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hey, thanks for entering the fourth stream. Seems like we have a lot of people here on the stream watching, but also on the channel. Practically like half of our team is here. So yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about today and showcase. So really excited to begin the stream with so many of you participating. And so let me just switch over to the screen to give you kind of an introduction. Okay. So seems like people, one second. Let me just share my screen so that we can continue. Yeah, so this is already the fourth stream, and we have, yeah, it's been a while. It's been about three months, 2 to 3 months since we did it. So, before you begin, we always do a giveaway for the stream where we enter you into giveaways. So please go to discord.gg/planetarium and enter the giveaways. There are a couple of them, just two of them from us, but also a lot of them from the mining union and other communities. So be sure to check those out as well. And yeah, happy to talk about today's agenda, which is initially going to be sharing some growth and update numbers. And then we're going to share a content creation program, software grant program, and NCIPs, which are all related to the ecosystem that we want to create. And, we want to get to the hot topic of player economics and roadmap. Like where is NCG going? Who is it going to? And how does the roadmap work for, development after for the longevity of the ecosystem. And then we're going to be answering your questions, which is also on the AMA channel in our Discord. So be sure to check those out. We have a lot of really good questions there. So yeah, really excited to begin. So, again, join our giveaway, sign up to the giveaways channel, click both events to begin, and we're happy to roll out, get awards to 6 lucky winners. And let's begin. So about the game update recap, this is a section where we overview, what the stuff we've worked on and then share some numbers from the ecosystem so that we can kind of see where this is going and how the community is growing. Um, so you guys can hear me all right, okay, right? JC says, okay, cool. Yeah, so, to reiterate, I think what's important is to keep focused on the long-term vision. Nine Chronicles is a open source and fully decentralized role-playing game network that is powered by the players. And it's pretty special and unique, not only to us, but there's only one of this kind right now, which we think that as a blockchain game scene grows, there will be more decentralized games. But Nine Chronicles doesn't have any servers, so it is practically like you have access to all the data, which is backed on a blockchain, and it is open source entirely to the community with the content and the network data and all the technology that we've created. And we hope this is perpetual so that like regardless of what planetarium does or how long we remain, the network will be functional for a very, very long time. And we want to build a really strong tokenized economy so that developers, gamers, investors, all of these people have opportunities to interact in this network. And so, like we had the last stream in I think late April or early May, and man, we had 12 patches since then. And to be fair, a lot of them were patches to address the problems with the new features and also the growth of the network coming out, which we will be covering later. But we had three major updates, and one of them was Monster Collection, right? We were always talking about this opportunity so that players and investors can stake into the game so that they can earn fungible currencies which can be circulated instead of us just selling potions and things directly to the players. So that's always been something that we're interested in. This was on the last stream. We are like, oh, we're working on something. We started a branch to do this, and then we got this monster collection out, and a lot of people are have been putting their NCG and earning rewards, which can be used or circulated back into the ecosystem. So that's all been fun. I just want to check on the okay, cool. Yeah, and had some rocky issues in the very beginning, but we're also solving those out. So let me know if you are having feedbacks or having any issues with the new feature. And so that's the monster collection stuff. And I think what I wanted to share a bit more about, and there will be more conversation about like where this is going, is the new onboarding portal. And this was you can kind of see where this is going from the Nine Chronicles portal, recruit a friend event, which we did right before the mainnet was launched. And like the whole posting got retweeted over 3,000 times, and we knew something here was special, and we could really use this as an opportunity to build the ecosystem. So when we had some capacity for rolling out a new product, we started developing the mock-ups, and then we actually launched the onboarding portal about has it been about 2 to 3 weeks or so, 3 weeks? And and what we've been seeing was nothing short of incredible. I think so. Look at the monthly active users. Like we are at 325% increase since May 9th. So this is like 2 months ago, and like our user base has grown by about 3.5 times, which is definitely a lot. And yesterday, actually, the daily active users hit all-time high. This like broke the roof, and obviously, this is causing some problems with the network because we've never seen this daily active user capacity before. It's like 3 times what it used to be about 2 months ago. So it's growing rapidly, and I think actually this is where the portal was initially released. So we've been seeing a lot of growth coming from this portal, and our network is seeing a lot of processing actions, about 30,000 actions per day. And you have created close to 500,000 items, NFTs, which are forged on the network without any fees. And put together, I've just found a number where you've participated in over 2.6 million stages on the Nine Chronicles network. So the network is very functional, and it's going, but also we're suffering from some issues, right? The trading is going well. 60,000 items being traded on the network, with no gas fee, which is something really cool that we wanted to prove to the rest of the ecosystem that something like this could be created. But in terms of why we're not sharing the actual date numbers, like how many people, so what's the actual daily active users and so whatnot. So yeah, the App Radar integration, where the App Radar is the #1 source where you go to check the activities of the top blockchain games and networks. So we have integrated the Nine Chronicles network in there. And so you should be able to see the Nine Chronicle network out next week, maybe about a week or two from now, so that, yeah, you can keep up to all the activities that are happening on the channel. And, so this will be transparent to you and, the rest of the world. And we want to see how far we can climb, in terms of the number of users and the activities happening in the network. And yeah, again, we're still fighting through stability issues. We apologize for that. There have been, issues with the mining problems, and then also just, a lot of transactions happening on the network. Something that we do want to reiterate is that, like, it's very hard to figure out if like one single party is causing all the problems on the network. And, it's been, I think we want to be mindful of the fact that the product is open source and product is available for people to edit and collaborate on. I would like more people to, move in the fashion of collaborating and making sure that like new players who join in are able to get those transactions in and playing, because this is like important to increasing the value of the whole network. But at the same time, like let's not try to accuse players without special proof. If you have anything that looks worrisome or activities that look worrisome, just talk to us instead of just blasting stuff on the Discord network, because I don't think it's giving a good impression about how the community is and what we've been able to create so far. And I think a lot of rocky activities are happening, but like there will be more to come. And we're working as hard as we can to stabilize the network and to provide opportunities for players to participate. So like let's try to create a culture of just yeah, collaboration, people helping each other out, and making sure that the network, stays functional through all the new activities and the players that are coming in. So yeah, just wanted to share that, and thanks for the incredible first half of the year and for all your support. And I am really excited to actually go and discuss more about the roadmaps and player economics in a very, very good detail later in the stream. So please stay tuned in, and I will pass the screen to Diaz and Edward to share more about the content creation program and other things that they've been working on. So, yep, here you go. Yes, your microphone is off, so you can.
Okay, I think now it's on, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
Okay, let's start. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's start, right? Like, can everyone see these slides?
Yeah, maybe also introduce yourself on the screen.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think it's the first time, right?
Okay, well, some of you might know me, some others might not. So my name is Diaz. I'm a marketing manager at Nine Corporation, Planetarium. And today, like, I just wanted to briefly talk and introduce the content creation program, which is a part of the ecosystem program from Nine Chronicles. And let's begin. Right. Okay, so the content creation program is, as I said, is part of the ecosystem program. It was supported and designed to bring new content creators to the ecosystem, right? So if you're interested, you can just take part. It's pretty simple. So you just send application request to the email there, and I'll send you some detailed information about how to process and how to become a content creator. Then you can become a creator, create content, and get rewards. So of course, with this program, why we designed this program is because we want the ecosystem to grow and accelerate, and not only just to the stake of benefits, but the thing is that because Nine Chronicles is trying to get the fun. So that's why we wanted to bring the fun to community. And that's why we were talking about and thinking about this kind of program. And we just decided to give it a try and bring a lot of content creators, because not only just to create the content, but also to enjoy the game. That's all the core part of the program itself. So if you want to start, it's just easy. You apply. You can send an email to my email there, and I'll give you the detailed information. And we are waiting for you to start along the journey and bring interesting content together with us and create different things. This is the Nine Chronicles Community Awareness Program. It's the forum. So as I said, if you send me the request, if you want to be a content creator, you can send the request to my email, and I'll just share the details. So there is a Google Doc form. So it'll be also sent to the individuals, those individuals who want to be the content creators. So the part is divided into 3 different things. So you can stream. And as you see in the slide, it should be at least 50 minutes to qualify. And you can have like 1 stream per day. And at the end of the month, you can send us the link, the form, which is, this form. You can send the links and the things you created. At the end of the month, we can count and see what things and how many streams, how many viewers, and all together the general aftermath after your content creation. Same thing goes with YouTube and video sharing. So you can do like pre-recorded video. It should be at least 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And we decided to have 3 videos per week. So it will be, well, it depends, of course. You can also add up more if you want to be, but usually if you just consider the YouTube algorithm into the, let's say, in the marketing field, or as the search engine optimization, I think we thought that it's going to be good to have at least 3 videos per week. You can do more, but it depends like on the content itself. And same things goes with YouTube. You can send the links at the end of the month, and here the table you can see the like the brief draft of the numbers per view and the payout per video. That's like a ratio we designed. And tweeting too. So because not only the content creation itself, right? So you can also post about us on social media. It could be Instagram, it could be Twitter. If you have your own like follower base, if you have your own subscribers, it's also a good thing to be act as a opinion leader, right, in your own social media, and it also goes here. So tweet links should be included to our Discord channel, as you see here, and you can also include the Non-Chronicles website in the promotions when you post on the social media. So how to become a content creator? So we just joined the community and create beautiful content together with us. And requirements here could be also like we can just set up different things. So at least if it comes to the videos, let's say it could be 2 contents per week. It could be less, but at least there should be 2. So it's like 8 videos per month. And it could be videos, it could be posts, or it could be like fun art. And the benefits you can get, well, for example, we have the announcement part in our Discord channel. So if you become a content creator, you can get those news at first. You can be the early bird to get those kind of benefits. And you have a very good thing which is designed for this program. We have a certificates for the content creators. So it includes also an extra referrals to P2E, right? Remember, we have the Play to Earn portal just released, and you can have extra referrals to your to those that you originally have, which could be also beneficial and I think very interesting to have. And you would also, of course, have an extra NCG payout, but it depends on the performance, right? We have to also see like how and what kind of range are you going to be performing. And also a good thing, we will be able to add the labeled avatar in the game for, as you see in here. So it's a universal patron. So for instance, it could be a content creator or like a beautiful creature, something like in that kind of, let's say, in that kind of thing. So we can just create a different theme or a different label to each, like customized labeling to each content creator. It's not set, it could be discussed yet, but it's just like the general introduction of the labeling. And so the things you could share could be like gameplay streaming, tutorials. It could be tweeting, as I said, posting on social medias. You can just also create fine art. And if you have some other ideas, you can also add, and we always welcome to hear your ideas, because we believe that the broader the community goes, the better, like the more ideas we could have. So it's always welcome to have new ideas. And to just sum up the things I wanted to talk. So please, you can, if you want to be a content creator, you can send a request to my email and I can send you the form. I can send the detailed information how it goes. And if you also have questions, you can also ask during the chat. And at the end of the day, I just wanted to say that it's not how many followers or subscribers you have. It's all about how you create, how you try to target, and how you try to deliver your content. So I think that's the important parts of the, I mean, of course, you know that, but just as a reminder, it's like an important part of being a content creator. If you have a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers, you might not be able to deliver the content to different wider range of people if you not set it properly. So these 2 examples were just like on the first one, Chronicles review from a Philippine content creator. She just did it let's say almost 10 days ago, let's say. So, and it generated 11K views. And that's it's just example of how a proper targeting and proper delivery worked. So it was a pretty good example. And then the left side is also a pretty interesting example for the Chronicles. It was the first time user experience from blockchain gaming world. And yeah, it was last year, but also generated over 5K views, which is also could be an example to show. And that's the whole message of the content creator programs. If you have any questions, you can ask from the chat, or you can just send me a direct email and I will be happy to answer. And that's it for my part. Thank you for listening. And if you have questions, you're always welcome. Okay, I think now it's Edward's part to discuss and to share the content regarding the grant programs, and I'll pass the mic and the screen to Edward.
Yep, indeed. I just need to figure out how to do screen sharing. It's been 2 months since I did screen sharing. Yeah, help me out here, guys. Where's the button?
It's on the bottom, next to chat. Like green.
Oh, screen share, perfect. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I couldn't see it, blind. So I have a two-parter here. I actually need to, what's going to be the easiest way to do this? Let me see if I can give you my window. Are you seeing this now? Ah, shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't click the button. There. My bad. So,
no.
You can see this. I have a presentation open. This is meant to be Wabs' presentation. I'm going to present his part first. I can't hear you from this side. Could you?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, I can.
Sorry. Go.
Yeah.
Sorry. Perfect. Okay. So various ways to get involved. So Diaz meant various ways to get involved, such as blogging, tweeting, videos, etc. That's cool, and we need that, but it's also maybe more complicated than it needs to be for every single player. We don't need every person to write a blog or to do a video, but we do want it. But there's other ways to get involved. So this is kind of a little bit of an overview of the different things that you can do. So this slide here, this is the all players slide. So you don't need to be technical. You don't really need to do, you don't need to be some sort of content creator with great presentations that you can do on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. You can start to do some very simple things like make suggestions. May sound a little bit cheesy, but it's something that we need. We need players to give us feedback on what they think works or doesn't work. I know that people will, comment here in YouTube. I can see some comments come up already. People asking about when is it going to be available in Mac OS or Linux? These are good questions, and you need to kind of keep reminding us on that. I can't give you an exact timescale for that, but these are the sort of things that we want to see, and the more suggestions that we get and the more popularity around one idea, then it's the sort of thing that we're going to prioritize. So I'm going to mention a little bit on suggestions later. Same with the improvement proposals. An improvement is basically a more complex suggestion. Content creation, I guess, is touched on here again with guides. So guides like a new player guide or how to do, high-level crafting or whatever. These are good things which are good for blogs or good for videos and so on. And I'm going to cover that also a little bit later. Recruiter Friend, which is, we had an old program for Recruiter Friend, and now we have the Onboarding Portal, which is kind of the new way to do it. And I think there's going to be more said about that probably later by Kijin, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. One thing that we're really keen to get more of in our community is developers. So there's something of a Steve Ballmer thing here where it's kind of developers. And if we can get more of them to join, that would be great. So part of it is that we need people to work on these improvement proposals to actually bring them to life. So improvement proposals, which I will touch upon later, might be something like a guild system. We don't have guilds in 9 Chronicles, but we would really like that. The thing is that we don't have a lot of developers on our own side here at Planetarium to do that work. So it'd be great if we could have people in the community to do that work for us, or with us, I should say. The other things, obviously, that developers can do, if you want to create a tool or some sort of mod for the game, these are the things that we can also consider funding. And that's something I'm going to mention afterwards when I touch upon grants. Yeah, content creation. I think Diaz covered this pretty well, so I'm not going to say much here. We can pay NCGs rewards for people who create videos, etc. Going on to a little bit into suggestions. So if you haven't joined the Discord, I'm sure you have because you're following here on the live stream, you're probably already there. So the suggestion talk channel, that's the place where you can give your suggestions and you can interact with the community and discuss what ideas you think work or don't. The suggestions voting channel is where ideas are lodged. And there's actually a little bot inside the talk channel where you can use one of the bot commands to basically have your suggestion appear in the voting channel. And then inside the voting channel, people who are on Discord can vote yes or no. And the more yeses that an idea has, then the more likely it is to get made into, say, an NCIP or get picked up by the developers. So it's pretty easy. I don't have command here for the bot, but it is actually in the pinned messages on Discord. So if you click on the little pin, I think it's in the top right, you'll see what the command is. Or you can always just ask someone, one of the community leads would be more than happy to share the command and tell you how to use it. So as an example, this is how the suggestion voting channel looks. As I said, there's a yes and a no. You click yes if you like it and no if you don't. This one here is talking about how to repeat a stage. This is actually from March, and we actually have the suggestion now. Maybe not exactly as they've suggested here, but we have it in the game. Another idea is for advanced filters in the marketplace. This was suggested by Wabs. I think almost everyone wants better filters on the marketplace, and we do have better filters now than what we had back in January. Whenever Wabs first suggested this. Yes, they could be improved, certainly. That's always the case. Everything can always be improved, but we have made an improvement to the marketplace since it first came out. The 9 Chronicles Improvement Program. So these are the NCIPs. These are like big suggestions, not just like, can you add a new filter, but something like, can you add guilds? Can you add world bosses? These are like the really cool features which will basically enhance the gameplay. Yeah. So so these weren't my slides. These are from Wabs. So I'm a little bit off when I'm presenting them here. He's actually got the workflow of how it works. I appreciate this may not be super interesting because it's just a flow from boxes. Basically, the idea is go to the suggestion channel. Discuss an idea with your fellow people in the community. If it looks like there's going to be some traction around an idea, that's great. You can put it into a draft document, say a Google Doc, then you share that with the community, get some feedback from the community, have people work inside the Google document. And then if it looks like the community is quite positive on the idea in general, the details don't need to be perfect at this point. Just get something rough, get something which is good. Then it's kind of like community will approve the idea. This doesn't mean that it will go to the game. It's just more the community really likes the idea and would like to have it implemented in the game. And this is where we can get to the point of having like an official draft. We can have some conversation between the community and the developers about how to implement it, and then work can get started on an implementation. The implementation will most likely be done by Planetarium right now because we don't have a lot of developers in the community yet who are kind of able to do this, but this is kind of, we would like to find more of those. So if you are a developer, then, absolutely please, come and help. I think, even at the implementation stage, it may not be exactly as it was originally suggested. There can always be issues and problems where something which is easy to do in like a big MMO right now can be a lot harder to do in a decentralized game. So it's something to keep in mind that sometimes like the biggest and best features can be difficult to implement, but we will try to find a way to do our best to make it work. Just keep that in mind. Here is a list of the NCIPs that we have right now. We kind of know that we need to get some work done here. We know that we need to get some developer time, and there is some interest and there will be some work on this coming soon. So things like, the arena rework, so that's for PvP, guilds, of course, I think we all want to have guilds. A new P2P item transfer, of course, people want to actually be trading like an armor piece directly between players and not have to go through the marketplace. An enchantment system, world bosses, more valuable drops, reworking the special elemental dungeons, which is Mimisbrunner, and then sort of more end game content, which these are all like great valid suggestions. These are all things which probably should be worked on one way or other. And it's just going to be giving us a little bit of time just to get there. We're not a large team. But we do have the desire. So, and then there's also grants, and this is where if you are a developer, you can make yourself known inside the developers channel, and then we can start some conversation. So I actually have a separate sort of presentation on grants that I'm going to present. So I'm going to just jump into that here. So that was meant to be Wabs' presentation, and this is now my presentation, which is focusing only on grants. So you can find out about the grants program on our wiki. We do have a blog, but the wiki is probably the better place. The wiki is a really great resource for just generally learning about the game. So kind of like what's like the overall idea? If you're a developer, if you can write software and you think you can create some software which is useful for the community, then we might be interested in funding it from the sort of stack of NCG that we have at Planetarium, specifically for this purpose. It's a little pot of money that we can give out. Now, you might be thinking, what is it that I can build? And there is a lot of ideas. You can suggest your own idea, something that you think the game maybe needs. You can come to us and say, I like this idea. It doesn't have to be like an NCIP or anything like this. We do one on the NCIPs. Of course we do. But if you have some sort of small feature, which you think you could do within like a month or 2 or maybe 3, then you can suggest that to us and we can see if we think it makes sense, and then we can consider funding that. And really, this is kind of for you, if you're a developer, to pitch us kind of an idea, any kind of crazy idea. I think someone did suggest an idea already about trying to speed up the gameplay. So trying to make the gameplay basically play it a bit faster, almost like it's on fast forward. This is like a neat little feature, which we probably could pay out a grant for that to see it get done. It's not the only idea. Other things that we want, so we have like our own wish list. The kind of what I have here at the bottom of the slide is like our main ideas for what we think developers could work on, such as like a new block explorer with like a really nice UI, make it sort of game-themed. So rather than just looking at a boring website, look at a website which actually has some theming which makes it look like you're inside a game. If you know what a block explorer is, you're probably familiar with something like Etherscan. It's a great website, but it's a little bit boring compared to like what a game UI is like. The other features here, I don't really want to go into like super like detail into each of these ideas here. It's probably not going to be that interesting here on the live stream, if I'm honest. I know a lot of you want to know like when is the next big announcement going to come out, or when can we trade NCG, whatever else. So let me push on. Let me talk here. Okay, so this is really like super like heavy into content, which is great for developers. So I apologize to everyone who's just here for the game updates. There's obviously going to be like a process for creating a grant. So you have to write a roadmap. You'd have some sort of objective, like I want to do this, and you need to basically state how you're going to get from the start to the end. You have to put it into milestones. You have to tell us how many months it's going to be over, give us an idea of the costs, and then we can review that and say whether we like it or we don't. We actually have an application template, so you copy the template and then just put in your own details from there. So you're not kind of like left in the dark, and you don't have to do like everything from zero. You can get some help. You can reach out to us. You can ask us. You can come to the developers channel and start asking questions, or the ecosystem supporters channel on Discord. The how to apply, sorry. So obviously copying the template, as I said, fill in the template, put a link to your proposal, which you could do like in Google Docs or HackMD or whatever. Take that link and put it into this special Google application form that we have. That will put it into a spreadsheet that we have on Planetarium side, and then we can review it. You can also send us an email, or you can ping us on Discord to say, hey, I have made an application, I've gone to the Google, etc. And then we can let you know, we can have a conversation, and we can see if it makes sense or not. So the final point is we prefer to pay in NCG. It's not impossible for us to pay potentially out in regular fiat like dollars. It's a little bit trickier, but we can maybe have some discussions there if you're really keen. The reward it would give you may not cover every single cost, especially if you live in an expensive place like San Francisco and you need like tens of thousands of dollars every month just to feed yourself. You know, we may not have budget to cover that, but if you've got like, if you want to do this as like a hobby project, if you want like in the evenings, and you don't have to charge like the full normal rate that you charge if you live in an expensive place like San Francisco or Switzerland or something, then hopefully we can help you and we can give you some NCG just to help you work on this. And again, so developers channel, where we can have some discussions between the developers and you. And of course, at the bottom here, you can also check the improvement proposals to get some inspiration about what to build. And they're maybe a little bit higher priority than kind of random ideas, but don't let us stop you with creativity. So a couple of examples. So Floppy is in the chat here on YouTube. You can see him commenting. He has done the work. He's like the lead developer here for the Cosmic Dashboard, which some of you may have seen. There is a Cosmic Dashboard room within our Discord, and there's a link to that both here on screen and in the Discord, which will be easier to click from Discord. It has some pretty neat features, so you can see about your character, you can see your NCG balance, etc. I believe you actually have to have your launcher working, so you have to load up the normal launcher exe, which you would to play 9 Chronicles, and then if you open this web page in the browser, then you can start to get some information out. I believe he's going to be adding more features too, but I don't want to say too much. He can always, jump into the YouTube comments and say, what he's planning. Another grant, which was for Feox, and that's for the tip bot, which is now called NCG Manager. It was called tip bot in the past. And you've probably seen it. You can send tips to each other, and you can also record your NCG balance there. You can say, hey, what is the NCG balance for this particular address? And it will tell you, as you can see here in the picture. So that's 2 grants that we have, and we're looking for more people, and to for if you want to suggest ideas. To do that, you can get in touch with us. You can email us, and you can also chat to us on Discord. This is the link to join Discord if you haven't already, but I'm going to presume that if you're on the live stream, you probably have already joined the Discord. However, that's the links there, and I suppose if someone could probably share those in the YouTube, that would be great. And that's me. Sorry for taking so long there.
No worries, and thanks for, this is Edward, this is like 4 a.m. on Edward's time zone, or 3:30 a.m. So
it's almost, yeah, it's just after 3:30. So yeah, I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks for joining in, and yeah, cool. So before we, take a look at the content creation program, take a look at the grants program. We're really excited to work with you all and offer any kind of ideas you have. Also, yeah, what else? What was I gonna talk about? I was gonna talk about something, but anyway, let's do a giveaway first. So before, we're going to go through our roadmap and content updates that we have scheduled. But let's first go through the Discord, and so let me share my screen first. 1 second. So again, oops, a little bit of sneak peek there. But so once again, join our giveaway at Discord, in our Discord giveaway channel. I'm gonna give it like 5 seconds before I roll new winners. 1 sec. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and roll new winners in the channel. So, all right. Ooh, Bomb Live, you won the first. I'm gonna pick 3. So community stream prize, you won the first 200 NCG. I will try to use the tip bot to get you this across, and then I want to re-roll this prize. So congratulations to Bomb Live. And then Joseph.coindreams.io. Congratulations. And the final winner is actually our Torto. Oh, these are all users that we are pretty familiar of. And so here, let's share screen again and show you guys. So you picked out 3 winners now, and then we're gonna go into the live stream back, and then give you guys a little bit more, what we want to do with player economics and roadmap. And also, from Planetarium side, if you're joining in, please. So there's a lot of AMA questions. Edward, if you could arrange the AMA so that we can answer more questions while we do the player economics and roadmap stuff, it would be really helpful. So yeah, congratulations to the winners, and let me begin. So these are going to be some really interesting questions and topics that I want to address to you today. So, difficult questions, and a lot of them have been coming in. How do I earn NCG? And a lot of people have been complaining. Why does the economy feel broken? And what are you working on? So these are all the questions that I want to try to address. While we have time here. So, first of all, play to earn is a really interesting and exciting concept, but I do think that it's somewhat misleading when you say, hey, I'm playing the game, I should be earning. So, some games are designed like that, but from our perspective, if you take a look at the 9 Chronicles network for the whole run, some activities are beneficial to the network, some not as much. Obviously, as a player, you're contributing to the network's growth. That's good, but some activities do matter a lot more. Some activities maybe not so as much, and some activities are actually even detrimental. So from us, when Planetarium wants to think about how to work on 9 Chronicles, how to work on some features. One other thing is also NCG is a limited and capped resource. We have certain number of NCG, so we can't just give this out indefinitely to the players, and it's a limited supply asset. So circulation is important, and figuring out where to channel it to is important. But can't just give it out because someone is playing the game. So we have to set up criteria to do this correctly and do this in a way that benefits the whole network as a whole. So this is not as catchy as play to earn, but I think the key idea that we need to get across the entire community is that if to earn NCG, I think it makes sense to try to increase the 9 Chronicle value together, because it's a closed ecosystem with the number of NCG is a capped token. So in order for us to access them, in order for players to access them, they should be bringing more increase to the network value. So I think that's really the key idea, and that's also what we ask ourselves all the time. Will this feature, will this contribution, will hiring this person increase 9 Chronicles long-term value and the network? And we also want to ask you, you probably are. Watching the stream, you probably are, really helping out new players, playing the game, making it fun. But we also realize that there have been also, hurtful activities in the network, which is, not really increasing the network value for the long term. So, we want to be mindful of that. But anyway, so the second question is why did the economy feel broken? If this is what we've been happening, and I think the key idea is that first months of early access, mining NCG was practically the only way that early contributing players could earn. Mining was the only way that the early activities, early players could get access to the NCG and start playing the game. And mining is really, really important. Mining is what makes 9 Chronicles sustainable and perpetual. So, we don't want to touch the mining incentives, because this is what makes, Bitcoin run. This is what makes Ethereum run. This is also what makes 9 Chronicles run. So mining and having competitive mining is very important to keeping the network functional. But it has limited alignment with player contribution. This is lots of words, but I did want to just put it out so that people can watch it later on as well. So if you rely on mining as opportunities for players to earn, it just doesn't really work. That's not how it was designed, especially because the mining doesn't reward competitive play, which is what makes fun in this network, right? And it does not reward growing network value. You know, like inviting other people. So I invited other people, so I should be, you know, mining. I don't know. That doesn't make very much sense. And not everyone can obviously participate in mining. And as you know, our network grows in people and value, like it will get more and more competitive as we grow in size. And finally, you know, we will transition to proof of stake because, you know, rewards suck, and you know, we want to have mainstream players to be able to participate. A lot of people have also complained in the chat that, you know, like I want to stream, but you know, like to wait 20 seconds to have a screenshot of the next level. That's a little bit troublesome. So, you know, like that, this doesn't align with player contribution very well. So, you know, I think a lot of people in the channel, and we've been getting this from a lot of people, even community leads and other practicing miners, you know, let's make mining fair, you know, like, and how do we make mining fair? Well, let's close source all the code, or like ban powerful miners, or, you know, remove NCG reward altogether, or have Planetarium just run the nodes and mine everything, or find some way to figure out, you know, like if a person is modifying the program, let's ban it, whatnot. You know, this is the road to death, and this is not what, you know, we want as a community. And because, you know, you want to have circulation as a player, not to mine. The mining is just infrastructure problem. So, you know, that's what we actually learned this from you as well. Like the players told us, hey, like make mining fair. And we were like, this probably doesn't solve the actual problem. So how do we actually address this problem? And so I think the real question we want to ask is, instead of making mining fair, or like instead of putting, you know, inordinate amount of effort into doing something that is inevitably impossible, hey, you know, as a player, we're contributing a lot to the community. So how do we share the NCG circulation? That's the real question that we want to answer here. And that's the real problem that we want to solve. So yeah, I mean, we wanted to have this stream because we wanted to focus on and share the ideas behind strategies to funnel NCG to contributing players. And I think key, you know, in the fourth, Diaz and Edward talked about content creation program, grants, etc. Okay, that's cool. But for the players who are playing, what are the valuable features, and what are, you know, portal features? And so we want to build portal inside the play to earn portal. We want to build invite and earn features, grow and earn features, and compete and earn features. These have, some of them have been implemented, some of them have not. And then we want to figure out market fee recycling. And then, you know, there's a new exciting idea of a new subcurrency that we're going to share. So we've had launched the new portal, and it's been very, very successful. So it's doing something well, which is bringing more players to the ecosystem so that the you know, economy can revolve and people can, you know, play and engage with other players, which have been working very well. So invite and earn seems to kind of work. Grow and earn, you know, we have some activities in the very beginning, you know, get to level 20 or blah, 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 but we want to actually build more features in. And then finally, compete and earn. This is also a requested feature, and we totally agree with it. You know, like top players who are just battling it out, you know, on the top levels, you know, they should be able to, they're providing a lot of fun and competitive value to the network. So one way to take a look at it is, you know, think about a player life cycle. When someone joins in, you know, you're in the very beginning, you're like, how do we play? How do we figure it out? You know, and getting them through this cycle is very important. And obviously, you know, and then after, you know, they onboard for 7 days and whatnot, this is, then they become players who are actually, you know, playing the game and trading in the game, so very active. And then they become veterans by guiding new players and then competing. And then there are, you know, like really, really exclusive players who just, when the content comes out, they beat new content ASAP and they just move through the content. So we want to be able to cater to all these player life cycles. And, you know, with earning opportunities for all. So in the very beginning, you have missions like take a quiz, figure out how to, follow and learn more about Nine Chronicles. And then for the 7 days, we want to introduce a level up quest where, in the first 7 days, and players can level up as much as they can, and then they can earn an amount, related to that levels that they've made during the first 7 days. And this is actually to the veteran players and to the old players, we're going to figure out a way to roll those into the levels you've already made, so that it doesn't seem unfair. But this is also important because we want to get people to onboard and playing as fast as possible. And then obviously veteran rewards, where people, as you're competing, you earn more, and this is also going to get rolled into PvP arena rework that we're going to do. And then finally, I think this was also a comment from the community devs. When we unlock new content, when there's new content, there's going to be people who want to beat it ASAP. So we're going to be actually doing content unlock event where we have new content. People who get there as fast as possible earn new NFTs. These will be new customs that will be created, and more will be shared in the future. But when you unlock event, you will get titles and NFTs, and these types of events being catered towards people who are at the end and really grinding it out. So we want to yeah, maybe I would. I'm just reading some comments, and you're like, "Wow, only talking about Wobbs there." But some piece, Wobbs is not the only person in the rightmost category. So we want to evolve the portal so that this can support full player lifecycle. So this is what we're going to work on in the long future. But I think what's also exciting, and this is an idea actually coming from one of the players, and we have been thinking about this for a long time, about market fee recycling. So Yoink, also in our channel, kudos to him, wrote up NCIP 9, and this summarizes why market fee maybe needs to be recycled. I'm just going to read some parts of this. So proposed solution comes in the form of daily NCG reward for highly ranked players. The daily reward will be proportional to the market tax of the previous day. So you can check out NCIP on the wiki, and it's the 9th one. This is a simple implementation that will not require any differentiation of allocation of total NCG we have available. The player will get rewarded from a prize pool that is generated by the players on a daily basis whenever they spend NCG in the market. So the market fee basically getting recycled into the arena or the daily reward. I think the idea really is not just specifically daily NCG reward, but then just having a good circulation so that players, as they join and they spend, this gets also fed back into the players playing the game. So this is, this is a really exciting idea, and also something that we have been considering. So, which also helps the circulation, but doesn't really have invested detrimental results. So, I think the question really is where do we get these NCG? And the NCGs are coming from both activation pool and market tax. And, I think we had one idea about, one of the question I think was, mining reward seems too huge or over proportional. We have to consider the fact, so the graph itself, it looks like mining reward is 25% of the entire pool, but it's scattered around for 16 years or something. So what you get in the very beginning is substantial, but also the amount actually is proportional to activation pool or other even the tax that we accumulated is very, very significant. It looks big because it's given out as a Bitcoin-like schedule where the amount halves every year, and we want to get it perpetual standing where people just mine for a very, very, very long time. So even considering this, I think if we can rework, if we can put in the activation pool and also roll the market tax into these rewards, and then also maybe rework content creation and NCG pool, which is about 25%. Maybe it doesn't go all into content creation, but also comes into some player activity. I think we can make a really sizable circulation for new players and the veterans joining in. So this seems abstract, but just wanting to give a clear picture so that we can tell you guys, and then also we can go get these actually implemented into the game, and the team can work on this. Okay. I mean, if you have any questions, just leave it on the live stream channel and leave it on the questions, and then also AMA channel so that we can follow up with you guys. So also, secondly, okay, what are these? So new subcurrency. Well, we've been thinking about this idea for a while, and also players like Pooh or other people have submitted ideas for new subcurrency. And the reasons are that, you know, there are some issues with the economy. One of which is that there's currently not a good way for new players to participate in the economy. They make items, but they're like not very helpful, and you know, like other players don't need the items that the new players create, right? And the top tier items are efficient enough so that, you know, people with some amount of NCG can buy them. And then also, you know, for if we wanted to give new players some incentives, well, NCG is hard currency, so we can't give NCGs out to new players all the time. And also the inventory being very, very full. So this is something, you know, interesting that we're interested. So, you know, the idea of crystals has been crystals or dust. You know, we're still working through the design of the game, but just wanted to share the idea as early as possible. So what's the purpose? Well, a lot of purposes, but to preserve the value of farmed items. So farmed items right now get stuck in your inventory. That's bad also because we have to store a lot of data in our blockchain. So let's, you know, get those out. And then to allow every user to participate in transaction and economic activities, not just the top level users. And, you know, what that means is to allow low level users to create currency that is also important for high level users, or just, you know, users in general, so that we can have a good circulation with these elements. And so more about the crystals. It's a fungible token and it's inflationary. No fixed supply. If you are familiar with Axie Infinity, I think it's it, like, in some nature, it is a token that gets used, like their love potion SLP. Yeah, and, you know, this is one of the ideas. And to gain them, you can dismantle existing items so that, you know, this won't just fill up your inventory, but also earned when item upgrade is unsuccessful. So right now, in order to upgrade your item, you need to burn another item, right? So when that's unsuccessful, you will gain the exact same amount of crystals as you would when you dismantle it. And we're overhauling crafting mechanics to make it more fun with variable results. Like, this is not just to, you know, make upgrades harder, but, you know, like, we want variable results so that items that get crafted actually starts mattering in terms of the stats and in terms of uniqueness. And crystals are also going to be tradable in the market. And one thing to note is that users will have max crystal gains per user per day in order to have, you know, bots and farms to have, you know, limited number of returns per day. This is important, and this is also how Axie does it. And so the main use is to improve the outcome of item upgrades to craft the so item, when you upgrade, you have variable result. You're going to have variable results, and crystals can be used to improve the outcome of the upgrade. And also, right now we have three recipes, right, for each tier item. And right now, for the second tier, we have removed NCG requirement so that, you know, people can craft. And, you know, we're going to build the crystals into the second and third recipe item. Obviously, you can dismantle your own, but, you know, if you want to go, you know, really, really far, then, you know, you can buy up the crystals and then start crafting more items. And then we're, you know, introducing more ideas in development. So I think what's going to be exciting in this quarter is that crafting will be overhauled, and we will be sharing in more detail, Plafina and Naomi, about, you know, what the direction and why we want to do this. But again, you know, crystals, new subcurrency, it's going to be important so that we can have currency flowing back and forth between all levels of players. And I think, you know, it's just so happy to have your feedback on this, but yeah, really excited about this. And then finally, yeah, that's a red crystal reagent. we just colored it. We don't have a icon yet, so this is like really fresh. But like with the new mining requirement and other complaints, we just want to make sure to communicate that we are building other ways of circulation. And mining is important because of infrastructure, but trying to prohibit mining like doesn't really make sense. So we want to build in many other different ways of earning and gaining. So that's what we wanted to share as soon as possible. And finally, about the roadmap, and so here, this is on the wiki. Crew helped us create a new page for it, but I just want to quickly go through, what's on it. So roadmap right now, the page is divided into three halves. Not three halves doesn't make sense. Yeah, 3 parts. So we have the roadmap, and then we have projects in discussion, and then we have completed milestones where we just talk about the important milestones that have happened. So what's interesting is that, so for this quarter, so we are just right now, the idea is that we want to list all the things that we are going to work on and we are currently working on. So these are stuff that we are, like we promise will be worked on. So we want to be like super clear about, what's on top of our agenda. And, so for example, PvP arena rework, and then collaborative content, including world bosses, and also the Mimi's Burner rework, and maybe incorporating other ideas from other NCIPs, and obviously introducing World 5 to 9 with respective tier items. And this is, this is Crystal subcurrency. Obviously improving play to earn and game reward, market fee circulation, POS mainnet, and then building governance features for NCG. And we're also improving the network so that action points can be recycled so that miners have incentives to process certain actions. Process actions as opposed to just creating blank blocks, which is a little bit of a problem. And we have multiple ways to solve this. And then light nodes so that players don't have to download the entire blockchain to start playing the game, which is not going to be a case where we want to access as many players as possible. Then also getting 9 Chronicles on mobile. This is also huge. So like if you want to keep up to this, you can refer to our weekly digest. It usually summarizes the stuff that we're working on. So like these are not the only stuff we're working on, but this is just an outline of stuff that we are promising to the community that are important for us as much as important for you. And then, with NCIPs, what's kind of interesting is that you can create them, and then, these are going to be projects and discussions, and some of them, like NCIP 8, which is about, reworking Mimi's Burner, this is going to get added to the top of the list if we have enough consensus from the team and from the community around projects. So like really use this as an opportunity to just knock off a couple ideas and to get it onto the discussion board. So give us feedback about the roadmap stuff that we're working on. We decided not to put the date down for the immediate future because we're all doing this for the first time. No one has ever created an open source, decentralized, fully decentralized network RPG. This is all for the first time. So we're working as hard as we can, but we need stuff to, fix the network and figure out what, new features to create. So we're just leaving it kind of on a table, but, we should refer to the weekly digest to figure out what the team is working on currently at every moment. So I think that's it for the roadmap stuff. I want to move to before we do the AMA, I actually want to finish the giveaway because the AMA stuff, I want to spend a lot of time just answering questions from the community. So let's first, I'm just going to re-roll a couple more giveaways. So if you are here, then please go on to the giveaways channel and I'm going to start rolling 2 more winners. With some new people this time. So 4 aces, congratulations. You've also won 200 NCG. And then finally, Patty. So I will try to use the tip bot to get you NCG. Otherwise, I will ask you for your screen, your NCID later on. So okay, for the grand prize, I think we're getting a couple more. So if I actually happen to pick out one of the players here, then I'm going to reroll. I'm sorry, but that seems fair to me. So, all right, reroll. Oh no, and oh wait, is this not it? Oh, not our end. Okay. Oops. What? No, is this the same Patty? Okay, I'm gonna reroll. I'm sorry, Patty, but okay. The new winner is Tonio, so congratulations. All right, now let's move to the AMAs. I'm gonna stop sharing screen. Get back to the screen. Yeah, so let me see if should I refer to the Google Doc?
Yeah, I mean, you could even just screen share with the Google Doc, perhaps.
Okay, we'll do that. And yeah, please add like YouTube chats and other questions that are coming in on the AMA so that we can just treat them all together. I know, I feel sorry for Patty. Like, what are the odds of that happening? Like, right, from 2 giveaways just subsequently. I'm also glad that I did announce that I will reroll before actually doing the giveaway, because otherwise it just like wouldn't seem fair. Okay, so why did the developers decide to go with RandomX? So the question. Yeah. If you could add some YouTube questions, then I'll just answer them live. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. So I'm just going to, usually we spend a lot of time answering the AMAs. So this is just going to be a part where you guys can tune in and just answer questions or leave more questions here. So why did the developers decide to go with RandomX? Yeah, mainly for the ASIC and GPU resistance. So currently, ASIC miners can solve problems, solve hashes very quickly. Right now, we haven't had that issue, but with RandomX, basically each hash calculation requires certain amount of memory size, and it's bounded by multiple other ways. Monero uses this, and a couple other chains use this, and it's a way to really, so I think it may not fix existing multi-thread issues. So there are a couple issues. One is that multi-thread seems to have some bug related to just dropping blocks, but also, it rewards, multi-thread rewards people right now by if you have a really big CPU, you don't actually need time to send your block to communicate, right? Like you can build a lot of blocks on the same machine without relying on the network activity. But I actually do think that RandomX will alleviate some of the problem, because if you want to run multiple instances, you still need a fixed memory size. So, but there are ways for people to, work out, maybe stick a lot of memories in, or figure out some specialized machine for RandomX. But so, our purpose is really to address the ASIC and GPU tools, but like this is not for the, whatever the idea of making mining fair is, it's very difficult for an open source project and also for a blockchain project to not give advantage to people who invest into hardware. So, but I do think this will alleviate the problems, alleviate some of the problems, and happy to answer, more questions in the developer thread with our devs. At what moment the crafting results decided? When the crafting starts or when it is finished? Can the use of hourglass change the role of the item? Yeah, it says technically it is decided when the crafting starts, so hourglasses can't change the result. Yeah, really good question. Is there an ETA on the ETH bridge? Yeah, we'll announce it soon. So yeah, there's something there soon. Is there an update on making staking less than a month at a time, perhaps weekly? So payout is once per week, but there's currently no plan to reduce the lockup period. Are you planning to make the game playable in a browser? Would be a good idea for a grant. It is not impossible because Nine Chronicles is a Unity project and you can just build out to web. But we'll be WebGL, but we'll need a lot of modding. So, if a community wants to go at it, then good for you. Is there a timeline in place for a game to decrease the loading speed from level to level? Obviously, network update to keep time stable around 1 minute is in progress, but 1 minute is just a nature of what the problem is. It's not really a bug. To fundamentally go fast, we need a POS hard fork. We want to apply this by the end of the year, but it's a major initiative and perhaps not easy to achieve that timeline. So, but definitely by next year, but we are also working on several upgrades to the ecosystem, to the network, so that we can gradually get to a POS network and work on also mobile build for it. Are there plans to develop more games that will, yeah, interesting. So are there plans to develop more games that will share the same NCG economy as Nine Chronicles? From Planetarium's POV, will the Nine Chronicles be the main currency of all the interconnected games within the universe? So yeah, Nine Chronicles is essentially an asset for Nine Chronicles. And okay, NCG is essentially an asset, but we often talk about mini decentralized games that can use NCG in the game jams or the core dev team. So what's interesting is that, hey, like as a developer or as a gamer with a modder with an idea, you could literally build new actions and some other gameplay features, and we can determine how to fit those into the Nine Chronicles economy and the game. And so I think what's interesting is that it might make sense if people start modding the Nine Chronicles game based on the art assets and based on some of the code we've written, make additional improvements, then maybe this can all live in the same universe. So yeah, something we're pretty open to it. Yeah, like this is if we think this will increase the value of the network, yeah, I think we would be interested in looking into it. So if you have any suggestions or ideas, yeah, happy to learn that. What are other ways to earn NCG we can expect? Yeah, I spent like probably too much time talking about that. And when pizza will be updated after the stage 221 update, pizza materials will be available in the arena. This is like a promise to our beta users. So when Mac and Linux, our team doesn't have enough people to reliably deploy and manage macOS and Linux builds. So, but it's an open source project, anyone can try to build. We will support community projects that want to manage and maintain Linux or macOS builds, and we actually might put a actual like developer requests from outside to actually start managing these projects. So 11, can we have NCG drops from in-game monsters? Unlikely. This is hard because we have to have a pool for this designed specifically for the category, but we can have other valuable drops. And you should go and read NCIP 6, I think, which has some ideas about random valuable drops that can be sold for NCG. Hope we can add some NCG rewards in the game, like defeating bosses or completing a stage. Again, not direct NCG rewards, but something valuable that can be sold. That's also, yeah, I think achieves similar effect. Okay, so I am moving to the more questions on the YouTube. Yeah, so Merlin asks, if that's the case, why does a reward change your stats on item? The crafting block itself can be rerolled. So reordered. So let's say so when you initiate the crafting, you have an action, right? And that gets stored inside a block with some hash. So that hash determines the output, but then that block can be reordered. So that's one of the reasons. Is there an estimated time for next new content? Definitely in this quarter. We want to roll out updates to the crafting and then updates to World 5. And there will be some new events for top player. Can you explain more? And that's, yeah. So, wait, is this top player? Yeah. So in the onboarding portal, we will be building in ways so that if you can stay higher up on the rankings, you can earn certain amount of NCG during that period. We still have to design it, but I do think that this will roll out sometime in this quarter. Yeah, for sure. And then, will the game be launched in Steam? Has payment? So yeah, Steam payment is a really interesting issue, and we don't have a set idea for this yet. I think we'd like to have it launched on Steam, obviously, but Steam also has relatively difficult issues with crypto purchasing, so that's also an issue. But I think there are ways we can make it work. Selling material, yeah. Yesterday in developer chat, you said that selling material in market has some concerns. Can you share some of it? Yeah. So it depends on the jurisdiction, but especially in Korean law, if you can immediately earn from a stage that you can like sell drop without making an effort. So for example, you can just say, hey, like I want the character to just automatically go through stage number 1, farming as much as possible, and then automatically put that onto the put the materials onto the market for selling. That can have weird issue with like that can be connected to gambling or circulation issue. So we are if a player makes an effort to craft an item and then sell it, that's okay. But if there's no effort around what you're doing, then it becomes it belongs in a gray category. And I think it's also important for players to put craft and put efforts into making something that is worth for selling. So there's some legal issues around that which we don't want to touch right now. And finally, yeah, Marin Crypto, let's talk. If you have more questions about that, then let's talk about that stuff on the Discord channel for developers. I'm sure we're happy to answer questions about that. So I want to stop. Wait. JC, you wanted to share this when? What's the answer to this question? So you said we have a few unannounced news, blah, blah, blah. What is this question answer? What is this answer? Oh, okay. So yeah, for new content, I think, yeah, finally, I think I want to end with, we have a few unannounced news that could like really explode the community and get Nine Chronicles out the door. Like we did, we have some pretty huge news that we are figuring out with our partners to introduce. And I think we will have a global event when we stabilize the network so that players can all participate. And then many players can, will be ready to compete. So all the work is scheduled in the third quarter. So we're excited about getting the new content out and getting the event. So yeah, finally, so thanks everyone. This was we usually plan for maybe about an hour, but usually go a bit over than that. So thanks for everyone for tuning in. Also for Edward for joining in at like 4 a.m. So, you should go back to sleep probably. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, yeah, leave them on our Discord. We're always happy to answer. And yeah, see you on the next stream. And hopefully with the new content and the new circulation plans coming out. Really excited for you to enjoy trading and building and playing and stuff. So yeah, see you all. Thanks for joining in.